there, welcome back to my channel. I'm continuing with where I left off from my last video. If you didn't watch my last video, then where were you? Yeah, so basically what I'm doing is I'm working my way through the sets that are coming out new this year, and finding out sets that have either just about retired, about to retire, or soon to retire, that will hopefully complement them. And then when the sets that have just come out or are just coming out do retire, then hopefully you will have a couple of sets that will either go together in a diorama, or when one retires and people want to buy that one, they'll have to go back and buy the one that's already retired. Or basically just trying to give you something that will give more of a hype to the sets that you've got, and so that then when you do sell them you make more money, rather than just kind of having a set, keeping it for 18 months and then selling it for £10 profit, that kind of thing. So I'm basically hopefully giving you information for, if you keep hold of this one, then when that one retires, they hopefully will go together, and then you can either bundle them, or the people who buy that one will also want that one, so hopefully you can make two sales, or whatever way it is. Right, so I just basically there's no themes to this, I'm just working my way through them, so I'm just going to start on the next one. So the first one is 60467. It's the heavy duty recovery tow truck with crane, $74.99. Obviously I'm starting with a set that is just coming out new, and then working my way with ones that will complement them afterwards. So one that will hopefully complement that one is 60440, the Lego delivery truck. That came out in June 2024. It was £90, and at the moment it's only worth £77. That's got the figures are worth around £10. That's got a retirement pop of around 6% with an expected good investment. If you go on Amazon, it's being sold for up to £227 at the moment. On eBay it's sold for £95, and on Bricklink it's valued at around £84. And that one sold 5,037 sets so far. And the other one that hopefully will go with that one is 60408, the car transporter. That one came out in June 2024. That was £90 to buy, and at the moment it's worth around £85, and that's got a 7% retirement, expected retirement pop. Amazon, it's being sold for up to £120, and on eBay it's sold for £77, and Bricklink is valued at £63. It's sold 781 sets. And the figures are worth £14. Next one is 60471, the Arctic Explorer Science Lab truck, $99.99. Now the one that will hopefully complement that one, and if you're going to do like a diorama, that kind of thing, hopefully they'll go with it, is 60378, the Arctic Explorer Truck and Mobile Lab. That one actually retired in November 2024, so if you've got it, then I'm just sort of saying it might be a good idea to keep hold of it for when the other one does retire, even though you're going to have to hold it for a couple of years. Then if you sell them together in a bundle, or when that one does retire, then hopefully the hype for the older set will come out and you'll get more for that one. Yeah, so that one retired in November 2024. It was £63 when it first came out, and at the moment it's worth around £88, so it's gone up a little bit. If you go on Amazon, there's people selling it for up to £198, and on eBay it's actually sold for £105, so it's doing alright at the moment. Bricklink is valued at 74. The figures are worth about 10, and that's sold 1,218 sets. Next one is 60473, the City Tower, $179.99. Now this tower is a bit of a mishmash, whatever you want to call it, of lots of different things. It's got a spaceship, it's got a subway train, it's got all kinds of things. So I kind of figured that something that would go with it if you were going to do like a diorama or something like that, would be 60462, which is the helicopter, fire truck and submarine. So I thought, well, they've got all that other crap, we might not have some more crap. So anyway, that came out in January 2025. It was £55 to buy, and now it's worth around 43. That's got a retirement or expected retirement pop of 5%. On Amazon, there's people selling it for up to £59. On eBay, it's sold for £55, and on Bricklink, it's valued at 41. But so far, it's only sold 144 sets. Next one is 60466, the yellow bulldozer, $54.99. I've got two that hopefully will complement that one. The first one is 60409, the mobile construction crane. That came out in June 2024. It was £95 to buy, but at the moment it's worth around 93, so it's not doing too bad. That's got a 7% expected retirement pop, and also an expected good investment. If you go on Amazon, there's people selling it for up to £154. On eBay, it's sold for 95, and on Bricklink, it's worth around 83. And that one sold 1,513 sets. Obviously, when I say that it's sold on eBay for 95, and it was a retail at 95, you should have been able to buy that for sort of 20-30% off. So when you sold it at 95 on eBay, you should still be making a little bit of a profit. So, and obviously when you do buy things, you're going to try and get, gift with purchases, vouchers, money back, and whatever it is means that you do to try and get money off when you buy something. So hopefully you're kind of getting it for 30%, 40%, even 50% off. So if you're paying sort of £50 for it and you sell it for 95, selling it on eBay for 95, if you can do it where there's no fees and that kind of thing, then you're not doing too bad. Yeah. Anyway, next one that will hopefully go with the bulldozer is 60420, the construction excavator. That one came out in June 2024. It's £50, and at the moment it's worth around 42. That's got a 5% expected retirement pop, but also an expected good investment. On Amazon, it's being sold for up to £65. On eBay, it's sold for 45, and on Bricklink, it's valued at 40. And that one sold 2,560 sets. Next one is 60465, the air ambulance airplane, £45, or it'd be $44.99. With the other ones, I round them up, but anyway. So the first one that hopefully will go with it is a 60403, the emergency ambulance. That retired in December 2024. That was £18 to buy, and at the moment it's worth around £16. The figure's worth about 5. On Amazon, it's being sold for up to £28. On eBay, it's sold for 23, and on Bricklink, it's valued at 14. It sold 724 sets. And the other one that hopefully complement it is 60405, the emergency rescue helicopter. That one retired in November 2024. That was £18 to buy. It's now worth around 20. And Amazon is being sold for up to £42. On eBay, it's sold for 22, and on Bricklink, it's valued at around 16. The figures are around 12. And it sold 1,199 sets. I think I've got 2 of them here. Yeah. Obviously that's one of them, but the other one's there. Right, so the next one is 60456, the police boat chase, $24.99. I've got 2 again that hopefully will go with these. It'll make like a nice little diorama if you're going to do that sort of thing, or an area in your town or city that you're building. The first one is 60419, the police prison island. That one came out in January 2024. It was £90 to buy, and at the moment it's worth around 72. And that's got an expected retirement pop of around 4%. On Amazon, it's being sold for up to £147. On eBay, it's sold for 70, and on Bricklink, it's worth around 69. The figures are worth around 11. And it sold 1,025 sets. And the other one that hopefully will go with it is 60417, the police speedboat and crooks hideout. That one retired in November 2024. It was £25 to buy, and now it's worth around 27. If you go on Amazon, they're being sold for up to £50, and on eBay it's sold for 24, and Bricklink is valued at 26. Now Bricklink, usually they're, depending on the price of it, it's usually £2, £3, £4 less than what the actual value is. And obviously if it's a £100 set, it's usually more like £10, £15 less than what the actual value of the set is, because Bricklink tends to be a little bit lower than what you will get on eBay or Amazon, especially Amazon, obviously. Yeah, so that one sold, the figure for that one, or figures for that one, is £8, and that one sold 864 sets. Next one is 60457, the custom police car garage. It's £44.99. Now, one that I've put to go with that one is 60415, the police car and muscle car chase. Now that one came out in January 2024. It was £18 to buy, but at the moment it's worth around £13. Now that's got a 4% expected retirement pop, and on Amazon it's being sold for up to £40. On eBay it's sold for 20, and Bricklink is valued at 15. The figures are worth around £4, and it's sold 970 sets. Next one is 60455, the police motorcycle chase, £8.99. Now the one I've put to hopefully complement that one is 60312, the police car. Came out in January 2022. Now that one keeps getting extended and extended, sort of retirement, so I'll have to wait and see with that one. That one is £9 when it came out, and it's worth around £9 at the moment. But it's got an expected retirement pop of 9%. On Amazon it's being sold for up to £23. On eBay it's sold for £22, and Bricklink is valued at 8. Now see, that's a small set syndrome again, you know, a £9 set going for over £20. The figure's worth around £2, and it's sold 6,872 sets. The next one, and that's the last of the city ones, is 60470, the Arctic Explorer Polar Express train. You try saying it. Anyway, the one that hopefully go with that one is 60368, the Arctic Research Ship. That one came out in June 2023. It was £130 when it came out. At the moment it's worth around £118. But it's got a 6% expected retirement pop with an expected good investment. On Amazon it's being sold for up to £199. On eBay it's sold for £108, and on Bricklink it's valued at around £113. The figures are worth around £16, and it's sold 1,487 sets. Okay, so I'll stop it there, and I will continue again on my next video. So please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.